Hi everyone, welcome to Molecular Diagnostics. I'd like to go over a few things in the course so that you know exactly where to find all of the information you need from day one and throughout the semester. So when you go into your Blackboard course, you're always going to get put into the announcements page. I highly recommend that you take a look at the announcements every time you go into Blackboard. I tend to post a lot of announcements. I will let you know when quizzes are coming up. I will post exam stats, if periodic videos. So really make sure you take a moment to look at the announcements every time you go into Blackboard and don't just skip over them. Aside from the announcements, in this green corner up here is the course menu for this course. You can go into the My Grades to find out any of your grades throughout the semester. You can find your syllabus in the link called Syllabus, and since this is the first week of classes, I highly recommend that you spend some time in the syllabus because there are questions on the syllabus on the first quiz, on the introduction quiz. In the syllabus link, you can find the entire syllabus if you scroll down. You can also find the syllabus as a printable version of the syllabus at the top if you click here. And personally, I like this version of the syllabus a little bit better. It's formatted better. You don't have to do quite so much scrolling. So I recommend going into this printable version, and you should, if you have a printer, print it out right on day one so that you always have access to that syllabus. But even if you don't print it out, you always have it here just a click away. Now in the syllabus, there is the course schedule. And in the syllabus down a little further, course outline or course schedule, you can click on the link and it will bring you into the course schedule. However, just so you know exactly what's due and when, there is a link in your course menu called Course Outline Schedule. If you click on that link, you can scroll down and see your entire schedule for the semester so that you know when all of your quizzes, exams, things like that are. There's also, again, a printable version. You just click there and you could print out your printable version of your schedule and always have it with you so you know exactly when things are due in general. Now, I will warn you that sometimes things change slightly, so don't just go by the schedule. You always want to go into the weekly sessions. In the weekly sessions, we'll go into that in a minute. I just wanted to mention that in this course, there is a textbook that we use. You could purchase the textbook. There also is an electronic textbook through the library. So if you click on the electronic textbook link in the menu, you will have a link here that you could click on, which will bring you into the library. You can use your GW username and password to get in, and it will bring you into the textbook. Now, the only thing with this textbook is there are 2 copies available. So if 2 people have that textbook checked out, you may not be able to access the electronic version. So if you're the type of person that wants to read whenever you have time to and don't want to rely on maybe the electronic textbook being not available, I'd recommend that you purchase the textbook. But if you don't mind waiting or, chancing if it's not available, then the electronic textbook is here for you. So I'm going to go into the weekly sessions, and I tend to give you everything you need in your weekly sessions. So you don't necessarily have to use the textbook, although I do find that reading the textbook provides more clarity. Although I have had complaints from students that didn't like this textbook, I'm going to warn you, it's the best molecular diagnostics textbook out there, so there really aren't many other options. Okay, so if you go into the weekly sessions, every week there's going to be your new material. It's going to be posted at midnight on Monday every week. In the weekly sessions, you will find a description of what we're going to cover that week, the objectives of each lecture that we'll do in that week. And you all know your objectives are really important. Your objectives for each lecture let you know what you need to be focusing on. Anything in the objectives you can get in an assessment, a quiz, or an exam. So you should be using those objectives to help you study and really understand what you need to know. Underneath the objectives, there's always going to be an assignment summary so you know exactly what you have to do that week. So I highly recommend that you get into your weekly sessions really early in the week, Monday if possible, and get in there and look at your assignment summary and see what you have to do and make sure you organize your time adequately for that entire week so that you can get everything done for that week in this course and any other courses you're taking by the due date, which is usually going to be Sunday, almost 1 week later at 11:59 p.m. Online courses require a lot of time management, and that's what makes online courses sometimes much more difficult than face-to-face courses because you have to manage your time accordingly. I will also give you study questions each week, and these are just some questions that you might want to take some time looking at and answering because they have to do with the weekly material and what you're going to be assessed on that week. So every week there's a quiz. Your quizzes are located in the course menu as well as in the remote proctor. We are using the remote proctor in this course. You could find your quizzes in the remote proctor. It will link you into the quiz in Blackboard. If there's any assignments, and in this course there are periodic discussion assignments, there's some worksheet assignments, you will find it in your weekly session. Underneath quizzes, you will then have access to your audio lectures each week. There are also non-audio lectures posted every week, as well as notes, and the notes are just a summary. The notes are not a replacement for listening to the lecture, so it's really important that you listen to the lecture and study the non-audio lecture in the lecture notes. And at the bottom of each weekly session, I usually add supplemental videos that are really, really good. The ones I post, I spend a long time going through YouTube and other websites trying to find really good videos. So the ones I post tend to be the best ones I found, and they really will help you understand some concepts that you might be a little rusty on, or maybe that you haven't had in the past. So that's the weekly sessions. We have our quizzes and exams, and right now there's not a quiz open, and it will be pretty soon. But when it is, you will see your quizzes here. But you want to go through your quizzes in the remote proctor. There's also a discussion board link in the green course menu, and here's where you'll find your discussion board assignments. You can see your week 1 assignment. There's also the instructor Q&A. If you have a question anytime throughout the semester, you can ask it in the instructor Q&A in the discussion board, and there's actually a separate link in the course menu called instructor Q&A that you can click on, and you can ask any questions. Now, posting them this way is really nice because if you have a question, the chance that someone else has a very similar question is really high. So if you ask your question in the discussion board, I can then answer that question. I try really hard to answer all questions within 24 hours, but sometimes 48. If anybody else in the class can look at those posts and see the question and see the answer and learn from it. So posting questions here in the instructor Q&A is a great way to ask questions and get some clarification. There's other links in your course menu, such as a tools link, there's a resources link, and there's also a link for the remote proctor if you need any help with that. So good luck this semester. Make sure you organize your time appropriately and ask questions if you're not understanding any of the material. Don't hesitate to ask questions at any time. You can email me, or we can, if you want to go over anything, we can make telephone appointments, computer appointments, and I try to accommodate your schedule. So if you can only meet at night or weekends, that usually is fine. We'll find something that works for everyone. So great to work with you this semester, and we'll be having some fun. Thanks.